Amakhosi Kaizer Chiefs are expected to make some few signings. However, Amakhosi have been categorized or characterized by fear of signing foreign nations because of what happens in the past. There are a lot of foreign players that came to Kaizer Chiefs and failed dismally. Yo guys, the list is long. Maybe that's why Kaizer Chiefs, they are very skeptical in signing foreign players, because it doesn't seem to be working for them. If you compare the stats, the ratio of successful foreigners at Kaizer Chiefs and unsuccessful foreigners at Kaizer Chiefs seems to be very scary. But because I'm that faithful to you, I don't just speak, but I give you facts. That's exactly what I'm about to do in this video, provided that you're interested. Are you interested? Then please stick around. To those that will stick around, guys, if you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Because to subscribe, it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, guys, it is free of charge. Without wasting much of your time, should you be interested, are you on Instagram? Then please follow me on Instagram. Bongani_Masuku5. That's my handle on Instagram. Well, we are not talking about Instagram, but we are talking about Kaizer Chiefs. So rather, the subject matter should be Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, who are expected to sign more players. The question is, the market is very wide. If you can't find certain players that you need, why don't you go abroad? Well, there has been some justifications as to why Kaizer Chiefs wouldn't go abroad. And those justifications include the fact that a lot of foreigners came to Kaizer Chiefs, but they were not successful. The question that has to be asked is, why a lot of foreigners came to Kaizer Chiefs and they were not successful? Well, the answer is just here. Here is the answer. And this comes in courtesy of ekickoff.com. Well, they chronicled this article very nicely. They said the following interesting things. Over the last decades, besides Kaizer Chiefs' recruitment of foreign players has been overwhelming, with not the best return of expensive investment, right? The names that I'm about to get into are foreigners that came to Kaizer Chiefs. Well, you will find, you know yourself, and then you know some were successful, some were just not successful. So the names goes as follows. Ibo Zito Ogbona, James Kote, Vengel Freeze, Gofri Walisumbi, Gustavo Paez, Dax Andrea Ramananana, Edmo Chirambaran, Michel Custiavo, Ivan Bukenya, Ovid Karuru, Sulamutavu, Kamaldin Abru, Matthew Rosik, Lincoln Zasia, Lazarus Kambule, and Teddy Akumu were all unsuccessful signings at Kaizer Chiefs. Then you have this ones now. This is the list that they said. The following list, remember the previous list is of players that were unsuccessful at Kaizer Chiefs. But I think the list needs more additions. You know why? Because I still remember that there was a player at Kaizer Chiefs that was a striker that is not on the list. I think he is Said Jehovah. He was a very big guy. Nah, he didn't succeed at Kaizer Chiefs. So I think this list is just to summarize certain people. But the next list here includes people that have said to be not necessarily successful, but not also a failure, but they were in between. But some of them, I think they were success for Kaizer Chiefs. The list goes as follows. Varelena Haya, Kingston Kata, Jimmy Jambo, Thomas Sweswe, Tinesh Hadeb. These are the players with divided opinions to say, did they deliver at Kaizer Chiefs? Or maybe they were just an average player that you would not say is a mediocre. Also, you would not say he is actually the best player that ever played for Kaizer Chiefs. Well, with that being said, who are the players that you think came to Kaizer Chiefs and delivered, but were foreign players? You know what I'm saying? Because these ones, there's divided opinion to say no, but they were not that best. But I think for Valerina Hayo guys, man, I think that guy was best. Valerina Hayo, I think Valerina Hayo guys was best for me. Man, please, man, get into the comment section below. Let the conversation, guys, start now. But now, don't think that I'm just saying goodbye to you, because now I'm about to name players that have been considered as players that came to Kaizer Chiefs as foreigners and delivered. Who are those players? Well, their names are as follows, right? While Willard Katsande, Knowledge Msona delivered on the club stars. Okay? There are more. So those ones are the ones that delivered, right? Let's just look at this and then we'll get back to some of the players, guys, that I think, they need discussion. Just through the past window, Chiefs released Serbian forward Samir Nakovic, Kambole, Colombian Leniero Castro, along with Nigerian keeper Daniel Akpe. Kenyan midfielder Akuma Age was also shown the door. This means that 5 foreigners players were released. Though Keegan Burkhurst was born in South Africa, he identified as Australian, which is where his family resides, and where he has now moved back to MacArthur FC after the end of his 3-year stay in Nigeria. Chiefs are without any player registered as foreigner ahead of the new season. Former Zimbabwean international Kamba Billiard now plays as a non-foreigner after attaining South African permanent resident, having played in the PSL for the past 12 years. Billiard is in the last year of his contract. They have Burundian striker Benfil Caleb Bemenyimana training with the club since the beginning of the month, with the likelihood that he will be signed. Bemenyimana, whose family is a resident in Canada, will be the only foreign player in the club's book if the signing goes well. Inside information from Chiefs is that they will only bring a foreign player if they don't have that kind of a player from the development or on the local market. Wow, okay. It is for that reason that the club has chosen to have a comprehensive look at Bemenyimana. Okay? This video is very much informative, detailed, right? You know, guys, do you remember that I told you that one of the biggest reasons that Kaizer Chiefs could not sign Kamara, it is all have to do with the fact that Kaizer Chiefs, after being banned for signing Andrea Ramananan, hey, Ducks, let's end it there. They were banned, and part of their ban, some of their ban was suspended. I'm not sure, I stand to be corrected, whether the suspended period was just a year or 2 years. Then the conditions of the suspension was they are not to be found to have committed similar offense until that period expires. If they are found to have committed the same offense, chances are, if 2 years is suspended, that 2 years will be uplifted again, plus the new punishment that would have been imposed with them with no grace, probably. So let's say, for instance, it's 2 years and then they got banned, they get another 3 years. That means 5 years, strictly 5 years with no grace. So it tells you that that's the reason why Kaizer Chiefs do not want to go into this thing of foreign. So now they are saying, if we don't have those players in the development at Kaizer Chiefs, we will then go into the local market. And then also it has been said that is one of the reasons why they are taking longer to sign Caleb Bemenyimana. Yes, for the first time I got it right. So that's one of the reasons why they are taking time to sign such a player. But there's also interesting things that I think as people who love the sport that we need to comment about when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs. And what is that? We must look at the successful foreigners. There are some players that have been left outside there. Okay? We cannot deny that. Well, what about Tinashe Ningomash? because he came to Kaizer Chiefs and he delivered. There are quite a number of players that came to Kaizer Chiefs and delivered as well that we can talk about. So, yeah, there are certain things that we need to talk about. But because I don't want to keep this video longer, I want you guys to tell me more players that were unsuccessful. I've already told you one player that is not on the list. He goes by the name of, I think it's Saint Jehovah. He was a very big striker. He was so fit. You know what I'm saying? But he was not successful as a foreigner at Kaizer Chiefs. We are talking about foreigners. Number two, foreigners that you think came to Kaizer Chiefs and made a huge difference. Don't mention Knowledge Msona because I've already mentioned him. Don't mention Tinash Ningomash because I've already mentioned him. But I need the players that I did not mention, and also the players that are rated in between. What's your take about them? So the only way for me to know what you thought about it is for you to get into the comment section below. Let the conversation, guys, begin right now, right here.